Hello and welcome to our place in Sicily. We're in the kitchen and we're working on all sorts of things, but mainly the roof. As I mentioned, we're at the Palazzo and we're working on the roof. Here's a broken roof tile. They're doing a good job of trying to save as many as possible. You can kind of tell which ones were upside down, which ones were right side up. And if you watched last week's video, you know it's been hot here. I hate to say that it's a nice cool day, but at 80 some degrees, it's a nice cool day. And the guys have been working hard. I mean, we've got the frescoes, they're exposed. And so we want to basically get them covered as quick as possible, but it's still a slow process and a hot process and complicated because we've got stuff that's got to get up to the roof and stuff, things that have to get off the roof. So let me walk you through a little bit of what we've done this week since you last saw. So we now have all of the tiles off the roof, off the entire roof of the upstairs, which is the first floor in Europe. And after they took the tiles off, then it was time to take all of the old wood off. The wood is chestnut. We are trying to save some of this. I've shown you that in a past video, probably for a pergola, maybe even for a kitchen table island that we're going to build. If I've got enough good pieces without wormwood, I think I like it because it should have some patina even if we make fresh cuts in it. But that's another video. So we have basically an entire roof open, taking all of the pieces of the wood off. And then I had a discussion with Igor about how do we want to try to make these frescoes last for another 150 years? And that means reinforcing them from the top. So when you look at the roof, the ceiling, sorry. So we have the roof and the ceilings, and the roof was over these domed ceilings. You can see the wood structure. You may remember seeing a similar wood structure in one of the sort of curved ceilings in our kitchen, which is actually where I'm standing right now. So in this space, we had also a curved roof here, and then this was the old big kitchen that had the sort of light terracotta colored and flowered ceiling, which we unfortunately had to remove. We're going to have one whole joint ceiling now. So from above, you can see that you have the curved wood pieces cut and doubled up for strength, and that becomes a structure that underneath we as in the people who built this originally, they put a sort of woven cane material and nailed that up to the wood and then applied plaster to it and then smoothed it out and then added a painting. And will be a little different than what's usually done because we're exposing the whole roof. So now we can come in to help extend the life of these ceilings and actually add plaster to the other side. So the wood will now be in between. So it now will be painted fresco, plaster, wood, and then more plaster. But before we put the plaster on, the team is slowly and meticulously adding some reinforcement cloth. It might be fiberglass, I'm not sure. I have to check, but it's basically the rebar of the plaster world. And so that's going to go in and keep that stable. So they've started covering some of the roof ceilings, and then they've stopped because today they had a delivery of wood. So Leonardo is down in the truck and he is handing up the pieces one by one. We've got guys on the scaffolding who are then handing them up to the guys on the roof, who are then forming sort of like an understructure of wood. And on top of that will go our watertight roof. And then on top of that, will go our tiles, the old tiles. So it's many layers. At some point, I should probably draw you a picture, but we're going to see video throughout the process, so you can follow along that way too. So it's very exciting. They're really moving along here. We are at the end of July, which means Ferragosto. The time where everybody takes a vacation is on tap, and I don't yet know when the guys are going to break. I actually think it's sort of revolving around what the weather is and how fast they can get things covered here, so they don't just leave it open. We've had a couple rain scares here, and it passed us by. I don't even think there was, it just, when I was watching the radar, it was just before us, and then it was just after us, but thanks to what happens with winds in a mountain, Mount Etna, it blew away, which was great. So far, no danger. I really am finding this entirely fascinating to watch this process. You know, they have all these tiles. They don't want to take them all the way down because then they just have to bring them all the way back up, but some are broken, so those need to go. Some are also cemented into the edges and the top, so those are going to be broken by just dismantling. So we continue to, I'll show you the back here. We continue to feel like we get it all cleaned up, and then it all crumbles again. I keep sending pictures to my mom. Hey, Mom. And I know that, and my mother-in-law, hey, Missy. I know that they both get a little worried, and it looks a little crazy. Even Jenn, our designer, who we've been working every week. We work for a couple hours together. I'm working a lot in between those meetings, but nothing interesting enough to share with you right now. But stuff is coming. But even Jenn has said, like, she has clients that this would freak them out, and she has to, like, talk them off a ledge. For me, all of this craziness, I don't know why, but I can envision every time we take something down, I can get closer to seeing what it's going to look like. And a bunch of you who have been commenting have said the same thing. Like, you can see the promise that this has. But this pile in particular, a lot of this, you'll see it's darker. I would go pick it up and show it to you, but it also has pigeon poop in it. And I don't have gloves, so I'm not going to show you. But this is the Sabbia dell'Etna, the sand of Etna. So this is the ash that if Etna goes off and erupts, she lets off a plume of, well, I mean, it is lava, but it's like little rocks. The closer you are, like if you're right up there, it's going to be bigger rocks. They're lightweight for a rock because they have air and stuff in them. If you've ever had lava stone as sort of a mulch, you would understand that. But I mean, it still has weight to it, and those up there are hot. And the further you get away, if the wind is blowing our direction, which it has, a couple of years ago, we had a little bit where we got, I don't know, maybe a half inch. Nothing Pompeii-like. It only goes where the wind is blowing. So you can actually watch Etna and you can go, oh, look, it must be hitting such and such town. So when that falls here, it is anywhere from kind of like the gravel you'd put in a aquarium to dust. And now that we see this, and some of this was up on top of the tiles, so as they took the tiles off, it fell through the wood, because the wood were just little beams, and then fell onto the ceiling. And now they've been cleaning it up, basically shoveling it off bucket by bucket, because that ceiling is closed. They've been working hard, and this isn't all. They're getting it off the roof. It's a big house. So it's going off in different places, and there's still more to go. They basically have to start cleaning some of this up so they can make room for the last of it before they cover up the tops with more plaster. And basically we're hoping by reinforcing all of these frescoes, yes, we're going to have to do some repair underneath and fix some cracks, but hopefully we're saving this roof for another 150 years, which makes me terribly excited. So some of this also had, because it had built up enough on the roof, and this was abandoned, as water would come, this is a tile roof, and basically just the magic of the shape of these tiles sort of interlocking kept the rain mostly out. As a corner would break off, there'd be an opportunity for it to drip. But also when it would hit all that sand, it's sort of like a hair clog in your drain, and things back up, and then it could go back up and over where it's not protected. And we can see where there are weaknesses because it shows on the frescoes. And if you remember before, when I was wiping down those frescoes, and we weren't sure if this was mold at first, and then when we came back with some towels, we really did solidify that this is just sabbia, the finest sand, the dust essentially, that had fallen through the roof on top of the plaster ceilings, and when water had gotten through, it became part of that water. So, and then it dried, but it stayed there. I don't know, static clinging, whatever. The water disappears, and the sabbia was on there. So feeling pretty good about how much we'll easily be able to recover on these. Of course, where the paint is gone because of too much water, we're going to have to do some more magic, but feeling really good about these, and feeling fantastic that we're going to be able to save these for a lot longer. The guys are working very carefully on this roof. Nobody's stepped through a fresco yet. I think I told them they'd have to stay there, and just like there'd be a real leg hanging out of Galileo if they walked through it. So yeah, that's what we've been doing. They will continue to work. We don't yet know what and when the stoppage will be for Ferragosto, the Italian holiday. But when that comes, don't worry, we do have some other videos in the queue to share with you. In the meantime, Matt and I are planning our 30th anniversary trip around Italy, and you'll hear more from us because we're going to want your input. So this is a very interesting process. We hope that you have a ton of questions because we've learned some answers, and so I don't want to just spew roof making information, but we'll just call this the second part of our roof installation, and we'll answer questions in future videos and in the comments and all that stuff. So feel free to write. And if you are enjoying this, just know this is the beginning of, it started a few weeks ago, really in earnest. This is the beginning of the full-on construction. We'll stop for a little bit in August. We will slow down immensely in December, but expect a lot of stuff going on. In September, we'll start back up in the guest house. That has about 3 months worth of work, but that can get spread out based on what we're doing here. So what I'm really saying is follow us, or if you have, in my husband's family, they used to call it Yanni Wonder Nosing, or Yanni Wonder Nose. When my father-in-law would look in on construction sites, there's another term for it in Italian, and I know somebody will drop it in the comments because I can't remember it right now. But if you have somebody who's like that, who likes to stand on the edge of the construction, so still has that 5-year-old boy inside them, or girl, and likes to watch how things are made, because truthfully, I'm here all the time. I love it as well. Then make sure to follow, send it to your friends who like that. If you have, Sicilian Americans, Sicilian anything really, that want to see more of like what the inside of something looked like almost 150 years ago, this is where to watch. So we're so enjoying. We'll do another little intro video coming up soon, probably in the August break. For all of those of you who are new. And until then, from Matt and I just want to say thanks for following, and ciao ciao.